Well, hello everyone, I am Sacred and thank you for joining me in our, I would say, spotlight or review, whatever you like, of the mod Cold War the Iron Curtain with the update Pax Sovietica. Which means something Soviet, whatever, it's Latin. If you know, then feel free to drop it in the comments. I'm using two mods, which you should use as well. It is just a base mod and the Iron Curtain music. If you wanna record, then I would abstain from it, because most likely you are gonna get a copyright something, because you know companies like to claim Soviet music for themselves, which doesn't make sense, but that's how it works. Anyways, then, well, the mod got a huge update actually 3 days ago with lots of changes. Link to it is as always down below in the description. So what does it feature? Let's take a look to the scenarios. You can as always select from a divided world, starting from 1949, or you can start from 1960. It is early access, so not fully finished yet. It is a decade of crisis. Perhaps the Cuban crisis is gonna fire off soon here. You can obviously select from the, well, basic countries. The French and the British empires lost most of their colonies. France is engulfed in a civil war against the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria. It says it's the democratic, but it's actually a nationalist. That's quite interesting. I thought that they were communist. Then Cuba is, how you can see, what? Blas Roca Calderon. I thought it's Fidel Castro. Well, whatever. China is united, led by Mao Zedong. And, well, that's it. Let's take a look though to the focus trees. Well, the game features focus trees for the USSR, USA, Italy, Yugoslavia, East Germany, West Germany. Here, Japan, Cuba, PRC, UK, Egypt, Albania, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Israel, Mongolia, Hungary, South Africa, France, South Korea, India, Czechoslovakia, Romania, Bulgaria, Turkey, Siam, Iraq, China, Thailand, Poland, Iran, Finland, Indonesia, Netherlands, Libya, Brazil, Colombia, Jordan, Syria, Portugal, Spain, South Vietnam, Palestine, Mexico, North Vietnam, Nigeria, and many more. Well, that is quite a bit. So basically, you have a unique focus tree for, let's say, all of the interesting countries, let's say, and also for around, I would say, 70% or maybe even more of the countries which exist in the world. Keep in mind that they are all uniquely made as well. Oh, you have megawatts, a new system. I didn't know that actually exists. It does. Ideologies are completely reworked. Other features: a new electricity system, a custom nuking mechanic. Alright, so, well, depending on the country you want to play, it's completely rehard. Even the Soviet focus tree is, I think, kind of rehard. That is the new, but that is different here. But 900 now, okay, whatever. Further purchase. Alright, the Soviet focus tree is not so big. But you know, I can tell you why it's not so big. They even told it here: focus trees switch every decade to prevent the use of massive focus trees, because the Soviet focus tree was insanely massive. But here, you know, they switch every decade, so probably after the 1950s or whatever is a decade for them, they are gonna switch. And then, yeah, things are gonna turn out another way. A new feature is as well, a new feature is that, you know, in the old update, I don't think the colonies actually declared their independence from the French. But here, that is what the colonies are going to do. The British are gonna lose their empire, and the French are gonna lose their colonial empire one after one as well. So, no more colonials until the 2000 thing, that's fixed, and really like it. Also, FPS lags are caused by all the starting wars and then invoke allies, by the way, so don't wonder if you have bad FPS. I'm gonna, I think, also continue my Soviet Union gameplay, but it's based on an old episode. Therefore, actually, let me know. I had some suggestions as like which countries I should play. If you got an idea as which countries I should play out, keep in mind that I'm heavily limited in the European theater, especially because there's either the Warsaw Pact dominating this area, or the NATO dominating this area, basically. So keep that in mind. Probably playing as a nation here. What's that? Turkey. But Turkish focus tree is not. Okay, is it interesting? I don't know. But perhaps playing as Turkey or Israel. It's really an interesting and difficult perhaps. I don't know. India maybe as well. Or China, or Vietnam fighting the civil war. Yep. Perhaps Japan, but they are still a major non-NATO ally. That means they're puppets. What? Yeah, they're by Douglas MacArthur. But they also have their own focus tree as always. So that's quite huge. So I think that's insanely huge. I think the switch of the focus tree for every decade applies perhaps only to major nations like the Soviet Union. You can go, for example, the Stalinist way, help the Greeks in the civil war, solve the Korea question, descend the Iron Curtain, do some purges, lessons from the Great Patriotic War, and etc, etc, etc. The American focus tree is, well, I don't know, should it switch? It's also quite huge. I'm not sure if they switch like every decade. It even says elections of 1956. But they may switch. Here, yeah, with the new electronic system, my suggestion is that you completely try it out. You can also play, I mean, the easiest nations are of course the Soviet Union or the United States. If you want to have a chance, you can play as the UK, or as France, or as West Germany, trying to keep your empire, or as France, trying to restore the Napoleonic Empire, but then you would have to face a NATO, keep that in mind. Could the Americans intervene if the French declare war on these nations? I don't think so. They have the strongest military currently. Oh, come on the continent. So that would be a nice pick. For example, if we take the French, so they have 257,000. They have their own unique focus tree, where you can side with the communists, preserve the democratic traditions, or go with the fascists, but that wouldn't be really something what the French did. Reunify Germany, declaring war on Germany and American colonization. Or you could also decolonize Africa. Well, that's the price you'd have to pay. So let's actually restart the game again to see how the electronic system works. As I said, just feel free to drop a comment below if you would like to see me playing a specific nation. Maybe the USA or the Soviet Union again in this. Oh, but then it will never end. Or I don't know, Israel, Yugoslavia, or whatever. Whatever you like, whatever you like. I'm playing only with these two mods I don't like you. To teach me the new mechanics. Alright, go back. Well, I don't think that's explained here next page. No. Okay, the Americans only have 67 megawatts while the Soviets have more. That is quite interesting. Well, I think that's not fully implemented yet. Anyways, thank you for watching me. Another episode will come out soon. I think that's the Spotlight featuring the main changes. Oh yeah, let's go ahead to the 1956 scenario before it ends, and I'm gonna show you then how the war in all the world looks like, basically. If there are some changes or not. It's in 1960. I think France is in a war. Yep, France is engulfed in a war led by Charles de Gaulle. Against the Algerians and having lost their other armies. Yeah. Weirdly, the French have only 132,000 units, and why can't I see? I kind of can't see my own units. I don't think that's supposed to be that way. Come on, like what the fuck? All right. Okay, now we can see them. The Algerians. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Why is the French army so small? This doesn't certainly make any sense at all, without a doubt. Not in the slightest. Just, that's a fucking joke. No, it's not worth playing as France in that scenario. Attack Algeria. With even the... Okay, there's 61,000 troops here. Well, whatever. Don't ask me how the French army is so weak there, because I'm quite sure historically they had more than 500,000 troops by the 1960s, active ones, and not just 100,000. Come on, I mean, what? If we attack England, then yeah, even their army is stronger than the French, which shouldn't be the case. Anyways, thank you for watching me. Drop a comment, and goodbye, see you next time. Have a nice day.